What's good, sports fans? Are you ready to elevate your live entertainment experience? Well, let me introduce you to SeatGeek, an amazing platform that connects you to your favorite events while saving you money. With SeatGeek, you can easily find tickets for sports games, concerts, and so much more, all in one place. The interface is user-friendly, making it simple to browse and compare prices. And one of the best features is the interactive seating chart. You can see exactly where you'll be sitting and how much you'll be spending, ensuring you get the best value for your money. But here's the best part. Check this out. By using my promo code, ChalkItUpSports, you can enjoy a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. That's right, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Imagine catching that thrilling game or concert without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation. Plus, you'll be a part of a community of fans who eat, sleep, and breathe live events just as much as you do. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app today. And don't forget to use my promo code ChalkItUpSports for a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. Get excited. Now let's get back to the show. What's good? This is your boy, Tone DeShields II. You guys are locked in on a Philadelphia 76ers edition of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. As you guys already know, this is a different vibe, a different energy than you guys may get for the Philadelphia Eagles content. Obviously, different crop of people. You feel what I'm saying? We're growing here. We're still building our Sixers group. We're still building our Sixers fan base here. So we're going to continue to pour into this thing as much as we possibly can. I appreciate all of you guys for rolling with me throughout these growing pains. It means a lot to me. So thank you guys for locking in. RJ, Bold Brew, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all 10 of you guys who are locked in on the live stream. Thank you guys so much. So make sure you guys continue to smash that like button. Make sure you guys are locked in to the show. Now, tonight, the Philadelphia 76ers, they face off against the Los Angeles Clippers. On the road, Paul George makes his return to L.A. Now, obviously, he's from the West Coast, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue for him. But first time playing in that new Clippers arena, you know, they got a whole new look, a whole new vibe about them, which I like. I'll be honest. I like the new Clippers look. I like the new Clippers atmosphere. But Paul George makes his return, so that's going to be a fascinating game to see him ball out in. James Harden, he'll be playing the Sixers again as well. So of course, you know, there's some storylines here. There are a few narratives that, you know, to be able to pull the strings at. But for the most part, the bottom line is I think the most dominant narrative throughout this week, obviously the Sixers only have one win on the season. They're 1-5, but also Joel Embiid's health. The off-court confrontation Joel Embiid got in with Marcus Hayes, Philadelphia Inquirer, a reporter. I've worked with Marcus. I've been a producer on shows that he's been a guest on. I've coordinated with Marcus Hayes on various occasions to have him on as a guest when I was a producer for a different platform. So, and Marcus is always exactly who Marcus is in terms of his opinion, how he gives it. But I wasn't a fan of how that situation was handled by both parties, right? Obviously, Joel Embiid, you know, being the person that you are, you gotta take accountability for whatever comes with whatever action you do give. But you know, under no shape, way, or form do you write an article, write a piece referencing someone's deceased family member, let alone their deceased brother, and then bring up their child. I mean, it was just a distasteful article, and I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it. But I felt like it was important that I give my opinion about the nonsense, and I was completely dissatisfied with the article, the angle. It just felt personal. It felt it felt beyond hard hitting journalism. It felt beyond just being honest, right? It felt it felt like it had malice behind it. And look, I don't know Marcus Hayes personally. I don't know his heart, but that just had some venom in it, and I just didn't think it was a good move. And Joel Embiid, he reacted the way he reacted, and you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So because of that, Joel Embiid was suspended 3 games. The 3 games are to be tacked on to whenever he becomes available medically. So apparently Joel Embiid will begin serving his suspension on Wednesday, which is tonight, and he will miss tonight's game. He will miss tonight's game against the Clippers. He'll also miss Friday's road game against the Lakers, and then he's going to miss the game at home against the Charlotte Hornets, and he'll be eligible to make his season debut next Tuesday on November 12th against the New York Knicks, which will be the first group play game for the Emirates NBA Cup, the in-league tournament. So it's going to be really fascinating to see how Joel Embiid gels with Paul George on the court with Tyrese Maxey. That will be fun to watch. But as far as the stuff with Joel Embiid and Marcus Hayes, it's unfortunate that happened. It's nasty. It's unnecessary. And look, 3 games. He was already resting several games due to injury. So what difference does it make for us as Sixers fans? But overall, I do want to talk about actual basketball, though. I don't want to spend too much time talking about off the court drama with Joel Embiid. Just get back on the court, brother. That's all I care about. Just get back on the court. Now, a couple games happened, right? They played Memphis over the weekend, and then they played who was it? They played the Suns. They played the Suns the other day. So they played Memphis on Saturday. They played Phoenix on Monday, right? Memphis wasn't much to write home about at all. They got dominated in the second half. Same issues, right? They lost 124 to 107, so now they're 1-4. And then they go on the road to play Phoenix. That game was very fascinating because Paul George made his return. And you were able to see how the other players played off of Paul George, right? How he fit into the overall design of what they want to accomplish, right? It felt good seeing Paul George out there. He didn't have an amazing game, but he got some shots up. He got some clean looks. I like how active he was on both sides of the ball. He was moving well. I did notice him deferring often. I saw him trying to feel his way around the game, taking opportunities when they did come. Picking his spots on when to be aggressive. I did have a problem with him taking that last shot of that game, though. I did have a problem with that. And not to bear the lead, but the Philadelphia 76ers, they lose to the Suns 118 to 116. It went down to the wire, and it was a very fun game to watch. I really enjoyed watching that game. I felt like it was the best game that I've seen from the offense in terms of just ball movement, guys cutting to the basket. The pick and rolls were clean. I saw guys being a little bit more aggressive, and what I mean by that is I saw guys being more instinctual. Guys felt more natural in their roles. Like Oubre and Caleb Martin and Yabusele, right? Eric Gordon. Like it seemed like guys looked more settled into their role. Like they looked like okay. This is why we came here. This is why we came to the Sixers. We came to play off of Paul George and Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, right? We're almost there. But the offense looked the best I've seen it. That's just me. That's just my opinion. Even through the loss, I was very impressed with the way the offense looked, the way they shot the ball. I gotta give credit to what I did see, despite the loss. They went 20 for 52 from three. And they shot 45% from the field. So the Sixers weren't awful in that game. They went 20 of 51, excuse me. The Sixers went 20 of 51 from three in that game. They shot 39%. Not the greatest, but an improvement from the way they've shot the ball, right? So not the biggest shooting day for them, but a better day. 39%. They got 23s up. So 60 of their points came from deep. I'll take that, right? They shot 45% from the field. That's cool. That's a great number for a team. They also had 6 players score in double digits, in double figures. So again, you got contributions from not only Maxey and Paul George, but you also got them from your role players, right? Your secondary and your ancillary players, your tertiary players. Maxey even got higher quality shots up. I was really happy to see Maxey get the opportunities he got with Paul George being in the lineup. And Paul George is, quite frankly, he stabilized the offense. He helped create space for others. And you saw improved ball movement. Guys looked more comfortable in their roles, right? But getting back to Tyrese Maxey, his efficiency skyrocketed when Paul George was on the court. Tyrese Maxey, 32 points, went 12 for 22 from the field, 6 of 14 from the three-point line in 41 minutes. I mean, it was his most efficient scoring performance. His best game by far from three. Maxey's role, if you ask me, it looked more defined. And I'm really curious to see how it looks tonight when they play the Clippers. I'm really curious to see how Paul George continues to mesh with these guys. Because everyone's role looked a bit more defined. Maxey was able to play off the ball way more comfortably. He didn't feel the need to push the ball all the time. There were moments where Paul George would push it, or Kyle Lowry when he was on the court. I felt like you got great contributions from a lot of different people. And Maxey just gave you timely offense, and he was able to pick his spots comfortably when he wanted to be aggressive, when he wanted to take over. That's why I was so shocked for Maxey to be having such a great game and being so efficient and shooting with confidence, having his best shooting night of the season, and it's his birthday. I don't understand why Paul George decided to take that shot at the end of the game. I don't understand. I have a hard time understanding what he was thinking. Was it your first game back? Was it ego? Was it pride? It's not like you were having the greatest day. In that game, Paul George went 4 for 14 from the field, 1 for 7 from three, 6 for 7 from free throw. But it's not like he made back-to-back shots. I didn't like that decision, but I think they'll talk about that. Like Maxey's earned the right to take that shot. You just got here, PG. And again, I'm sure they're going to iron this stuff out. I'm not trying to kill PG for it. I promise you I'm not. But Maxey should have took that shot. That was for the game. Maxey earned that shot. And Maxey would have went for the win. He wouldn't have shot a long-ass 2-point shot. He would have went for he would have went for the gusto. It's my birthday. I'm taking the 3-point shot. RJ said, F your birthday. I'm just saying, RJ, like you gotta be able to read the room. You got to be able to read the situation. So tonight, when they face the Clippers, I'm going to be really curious to see how they decide to defer. Like that game with the Clippers was competitive all night. I mean, with the Suns, it was competitive all night. KD went crazy. 35 points, 14 for 20 on some calm. Bradley Beal came out pretty hot. He cooled off in the second half. Devin Booker didn't shoot well at all. It's not going to be often where you face a Suns team where Devin Booker doesn't shoot well and Bradley Beal goes cold in the second half. KD was the most stable force of their offense, and they allowed KD to get whatever shot he wanted towards the back end of that game. And then look, it's KD. It is what it's going to be what it's going to be. But I also think the Sixers missed opportunities in that game as well. Caleb Martin has to shoot better when given the opportunity. I would like Caleb Martin to be more aggressive from the three-point line, right? I would like for him to take a few more threes instead of pump faking and running off the three-point line. I would like to see him do more from deep. Also, I would like them to take more advantage of opponents' mistakes. Right? There were too many situations where the Sixers forced a turnover, but they didn't benefit from it as they should have. They didn't benefit enough from it. I feel like the Sixers could have got more points off of the 14 turnovers that the Suns forfeited. You could have got more points. And you had a 5-point lead in the final 2 minutes. You had a 5-point lead in the final 2 minutes. You can't allow them to just do that to you. They got to learn how to close a game. As a matter of fact, not only was you up by 5 points, it was 115 to 110 in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left, but you had back-to-back turnovers. Yabusele traveled, which led to the Kevin Durant free throws, and then Kelly Oubre lost the ball out of bounds, and he ended up fouling out trying to fight for the ball. So now the Suns were in the bonus, and they got 4 free points because you turned the ball over twice. Now the score is 115-114. You allow them to go on a 12-2 run. They got the lead 116-115, and they never really looked back from there. So you got to do a better job of closing these games. I liked what I saw from Maxey. PG, keep shooting. He went 4 for 15, 15 points, 1 for 7 from 3, 32 minutes played. The shots are going to fall. Just keep shooting. He got clean looks. Yabusele, 19 points, 6 to 14. I like what Yabusele brings to the team. Aggressive. Knows when to pass the ball. Gave you 7 boards and 6 assists in 30 minutes. 5 for 11 from 3. He knows his spots on the 3-point line. He knows his hot spots. So I like what Yabusele's providing. Again, Yabusele, 6 for 14 from the field. Came off the bench and gave you that in 30 minutes. Drummond was the starter, but Yabusele clearly gave you the more consistent offense. That's going to be the challenge for Nick Nurse when he balances the minutes between Yabusele and Andre Drummond when Embiid comes back. That's going to be the challenge. Yabusele is going to give you offense. He's going to give you ball movement. He's going to allow you to stretch the floor. I like that he's shooting and making these shots. He's forcing the opponent to have to game plan for it and have to play up. Yabusele allows you to stretch the floor. He's going to fight for boards. He may not get them all, but he's going to fight for them. He's not the most technically sound when it comes to getting boards, but he's going to fight for them. So he's giving you effort. But Andre Drummond, a bigger body in the paint, gives you more length at the rim. Probably gives you better rim. Probably gives you better defense at the rim. Flat-footed, not the most athletic. Quick hands though, can force some turnovers, can get some blocks. Going to get rebounds, but he is limited laterally. Very limited offensively. You can only really count on him to make 1 of 2 free throws, and maybe get some putbacks. But he doesn't help you stretch the floor. He doesn't make you more potent offensively. So it's going to be a challenge to see what Nick Nurse does with Andre Drummond and Yabusele, especially when Joel Embiid comes back. Bo Bruce says, I don't think Yabusele would be a part of the rotation once Embiid comes back. I think that would be a grave mistake, Bo Brew. I hear what you're saying, but I think that would be a grave mistake. A grave mistake to not have Yabusele a part of this rotation. He gives you scoring. He gives you a spark off the bench. He knows his limitations. He knows his spots. He knows his spots on the floor. He's going to get the rebound and look to kick it out. He gets assists. He gets points. He gets boards. He's active defensively. He's a high effort player. I find it hard to believe that Yabusele will not be a part of this rotation because Yabusele is probably more natural at the 4. Don't be surprised if you see lineups with Maxey, Caleb Martin, Paul George, Yabusele, and Embiid. Don't be surprised. Yabusele gives them size, but he allows them to stretch the floor, gives them physicality, gives them a presence. High effort guy. I think Yabusele is going to get minutes even when Joel Embiid comes back. I think the challenge is deciding or game planning how will Yabusele and Drummond's minutes be split. That's going to be the challenge. And he gives you versatility. He allows you to play small and stretch the floor and give you a physical presence, regardless of his size. So I think Yabusele has a role here. I really does. Oh, I really do, excuse me. I really do. So yeah, those were pretty much my takeaways from that game. I'm really curious to see how things transpired tonight. Paul George, another game with Maxey and those guys. A big game for him, at least. A big game for the Sixers. They need this win. The Clippers, their season hasn't been off to the greatest start, but they are 3-4. The Sixers, they're 1-5. The Sixers need to get back to 500. Can you steal a win? Can you steal a win on the road? Can you steal a win on the road? You're going to need big contributions from Jared McCain. You're going to need big contributions from Caleb Martin. You know, Paul George and Maxey just got to do what they do. But you're going to need contributions from your other guards. Caleb Martin has to shoot better, more confident from deep. Kelly Oubre is never not going to shoot. I know Kelly Oubre is going to shoot. I like what Kyle Lowry provides from a shooting perspective. Kyle Lowry, I know he's old. But every time I watch him play, he's putting the ball in the hoop and he's shooting well from deep. I understand he's old, but he was shooting very well. And he's still a spark plug, and he gave you 7 assists. He gave you 13.7 assists, 3 for 6 from the three-point line, 5 for 8 from the field. I understand Kyle Lowry's old, but he gets buckets. RJ, you're right. I know he's old, but he's been your best shooter. And Jared McCain, eventually his shot's going to fall. He's clearly, obviously younger and more athletic than Kyle Lowry right now, and I do like Jared McCain, but you know, until his shot starts to fall more consistently, and you're only going to know that if you give him opportunities. But Kyle Lowry he's shooting very well. He's shooting very well. Tonight's going to be very fun. I think the starting lineup tonight, the starting lineup tonight, you're going to see Kyle Lowry. Let me see here. The starting lineup tonight, you know what? You might see Maxey, Caleb Martin, Oubre, Paul George, Drummond. You may see that same lineup. You may see that. You just might see that. Now, the Clippers, on the other hand, you know, they got Ivica Zubac, very good big man, very good. He's very talented. They also got Nicholas Batum back, Norman Powell at guard, Derrick Jones Jr. averaging 10 points for him. Zubac is averaging 17 points for him. You know, since not having Kawhi Leonard, they had to manufacture points in other ways. And Norman Powell has been their leading scorer with 25 points a game. James Harden averaging almost a double-double, 21 points, 9.9 assists a game. Zubac, 17 and 13, averaging a double-double. They can shoot. But I think matchup-wise, this is a game the Sixers can win. They can win this, but the Clippers, they got some athletic guards. Maxey, and you're going to probably need some youth from your guards. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jared McCain get a lot of run. Kyle Lowry may be a liability defensively on Norman Powell. Even James Harden. So McCain is going to be tested tonight. But Maxey, keep doing what you're doing. Paul George is going to shoot better. I expect him to be better. It's a big night for him back home in LA. He got some of the rust off. I think Paul George is going to have a good game tonight. I really do. And RJ, you're right. We need more from Caleb Martin. That's the bottom line. All right, we're going to get out of here, y'all. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. That was my quick rundown of the Philadelphia 76ers, you know, the off-court drama with Joel Embiid and Marcus Hayes from the Philadelphia Inquirer, how I felt about that Suns matchup, how I feel about tonight's game, right? I think the Sixers can win this game. I think Paul George gets his revenge on the Clippers. And I don't know if I would even call this a revenge game. It wasn't like things went sour when he left the Clippers. I think he just expected them to dig deeper into their pockets. He's been more available than Kawhi, yet Kawhi's been treated much better than him. So, maybe it's a revenge game, maybe it's not. But I expect Paul George to have a better game tonight. I think Paul George is going to shoot very well from the field. I think Paul George goes off. I think Paul George gets 30 tonight. I think both Maxey and Paul George get 30 tonight. I really do. And I think the Sixers win. Sixers win by single digits. It's going to be competitive, but I think the Sixers win tonight, and I think both Paul George and Maxey go off for 30 points. That's what I think. And we'll see what happens. I'll be watching the game, and I can't wait to talk about it with y'all tomorrow. So make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Again, we're still growing our Sixers audience, and I know I got to earn your trust. I know I got to earn your viewership. So make sure you guys stay locked in on the Sixers content whenever it goes up. I would really, really appreciate that. Smash that like button. And by the way, smash that like button. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II. You guys have been tuned into a Philadelphia 76ers edition of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game.